everybody. I have been off of YouTube for a little while. I wasn't on there too long in the beginning, but life happened, and I figured what better way to get back into the swing of things than showing my progress for prepping for one of my second big event of the year, which is our local area's Winter Fete for Central Louisiana area. So I have a few works in progress that I actually want to finish. One of which is the big fairy dragon, which I'm going to pop up here later for editing me, showing off the pattern. Also the baby bokoblin pattern that I've got almost all the way done. I just need to hurry up. I'm going to post that in. And I'm going to try to do this update every single week. It is currently the 12th of November. My event is that first weekend of December. I want to say like the 5th or 6th. We'll put the actual date right here. And my goal is to have something like $3,000 worth of inventory that I make new this month. So for this week, what's left of this week till Sunday, which I will give you an update on shortly thereafterwards, I am focusing on finishing those two works in progress. I also would like to try to get a couple beanies done and some littles of some sort done as well. But I'm kind of using this week to see how things go. We also have Thanksgiving involved, and I do have a small event beforehand, the Black Friday. Now, I am not necessarily stocking for my event on Black Friday. Kind of what I've got left over from the Kent House and from my last market with Magical Market is all I'm going to be going off of with that. So that way I can have the bulk of my inventory ready to go for Winter Fete, because I already know that's going to be a bigger foot traffic than I currently will get at the Fighting Hand. Simply matter of logistics. Fighting Hand, you've got to be 21 or older to show up. Winter Fete is for all ages. There's going to be ice skating. There's going to be a parade. There's going to be karaoke, Christmas carols. I think Santa's going to be making an appearance. So I will try to give y'all weekly updates of how things go leading up to me doing River Fete. And this is my first video on it. Depending on how I feel doing this video, will depend on how I do the rest of the updates for this. I'm still trying to figure out this YouTube thing. I'm still trying to refigure out how to do the clock app and posting on all the social medias often enough. So please, for real, tell your friends, tell your family, subscribe to me or don't, hit that like button, all the buttons, you know what to do. And we'll see things how things go. So until my first update on my dragon, I will see you guys later. That is what I'm currently working on. I currently have this much done on him, and I really hope I win Yarn Chicken. Although if I don't, I have some plans to make up for it. So, yay! All right, so I am doing an update. It's been a few hours since I started filming for this video on this dragon that I've been working on. I started off on row 38. I am now on row 58. And I have a total of 140 rows to go through on this guy. So I want to show you what he looks like. He is a big boy. He goes all the way there. I don't know if you can see as well, but he is from my hips to past my shoulders. Give me a second. Well, editing me is going to have so much fun editing that out. Anyways, so he goes past my shoulders a little bit. And I've made some significant progress. I'm hoping to maybe finish the body, give or take, tonight. I don't know if I'm going to give another update. I'm not cooking dinner tonight, so I'll probably be able to work longer than normal, but we'll see how things go. I am giving live updates on the clock app, and so pretty much whenever I update on there, I'm going to be popping on over here to record an update as well for the final video whenever I get this done. I'm shooting for next Monday of when this releases. It may be sooner depending on how I do on my progress. So I will go ahead and hop off of here until it's time for me to update again. It is the next day, and I didn't give you guys on here an update before I went to bed as to the progress I made on my ginormous dragon. So I want to show you. I will warn you, he does not fit in the screen very well. So here he is. I kind of have to go at this with a diagonal with the orientation of the screen. See if I can. There we go. I kind of got to play limbo with him. But as you can see, he's going to be a big boy. Now, at the last update, I finished off at row 58. I am on row 66 now. I am almost to the halfway point, and that makes me happy. I also got in last night some new business cards. I wanted to kind of make them look a little prettier, make them look a little bit more me, a little less like I just printed them off because I had been using Avery from like day one. And no offense to Avery, they're great, but I liked Canvas set up a little better. And here is my new business card. Well, pretend it's not reversed, but I'm so excited and happy for those. That's just, I really like the spider webs because my husband always talks about and complains about how I've got the entire house spiderweb with all of my yarn, which to be honest, he's probably not really going overboard on how things go. So other things I got going on last night to give my hand a break from the yarn that I was using last night, I switched over to a thinner yarn, which in turn called for a thinner hook, and I started working on one of my elf hoods. It's gonna have this beautiful glow in the dark purpley blue mohair yarn for the trim, and this is a wool blend. I want to say it's 75% wool, 25% acrylic. But I've also got a few hats where I've got to just put in the wire or sew off ends or put their trim on. So I'm going to go ahead and knock some of that out to kind of warm up my hands before I get started back on this dragon guy and having to kind of lock in on that. I am also expecting to have a not a Red Bull. I just looked at my can of Red Bull and I haven't fully drank it yet, so the brain's not firing all the way. I am working on one last commission that I have that's only going to be like, it's a big chunk of change, but I just haven't had the heart started knowing I was going to lose yarn chicken. But once I get my second skein of yarn in for it, it won't be as big of an issue. But I've got that. I've got some medium size guys that all I got to do is throw in some eyeballs. And I think I might even look at doing a couple of my Christmas pops by Cable and Canvas. Holly Jolly Pops, I think is what it's called on Amazon. Look, I'll put it right here so you can, not Amazon, Etsy. Oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. But anyways, I'm going to put their pattern that I got off of there. So yeah, that way if you guys want to look at what I'm making, no problem. So that's about it that I've got going on. The new holiday flavor from Red Bull is delicious. Red Bull, if you want to sponsor me, I will gladly be happy, but no big deal if you don't. I understand. I'm not that big of a creator yet. But if you do, I love y'all. So I always look forward to your new flavors. And bring back cranberry. But yeah. And I get some of these little guys knocked out, warm my hands up a bit, and I think I'll do let's see, I'm on row 66. When I get to row 86, I think I'll do another check-in on my dragon and also check in on some of the things I have finished. So I've been rambling now for like 5 minutes. And now I need to shut up. So until the next update, have a nice day. I want to give y'all an update again on my dragon. I am on row 103 out of 140. So I am well past the halfway point. He is almost as long as my wingspan. He's probably going to be longer than my wingspan by the time he's done. I'm thinking about maybe making his tail a little bit shorter just because I'm starting to get to the end of my yarn. I still need to have enough yarn to make the legs, but we shall see how things go. But I've also I made some progress on my elf hood as well. I'm going to work on that some more as well while I run some errands out in town today. I also finished. Lily, you are so rude with the Borks. Really. Anyways, back to the point. I made me a messy bun beanie out of purple yarn. I actually started on that while I was at the Kent house, just so that I'd have something to do in between customers. And then I also have one of my gnome hats done. I just got to sew in ends, and I will probably do that tonight so I can go ahead and have those guys packed away for Winter Fete. So we shall see how that's doing. And that's it. I've got to go now record for the clock app how my time has been going and go from there. I'm so excited for this guy. He's getting so fucking fudging big. He is getting so big, and I am so excited. I might have to edit some. I don't know. I'm not too sure on the rules with YouTube. Still figuring this out. I'm sorry. I was a sailor. Happy Veterans Day, because this is definitely being done after Veterans Day, considering I started filming the day afterwards, because I was not going to try to film during Veterans Day. And now I am rambling, and now I've got to go let that dog out. Hey everyone, so I'm giving everyone an update. I have finished the body of the dragon, and she is huge. It is. Goes all the way up to the end base of my palm with the snout at the tip of my fingers for length. And I'm 5'4", so she's basically 5 foot long. And I bet you once I add all the other details, it won't be much longer than that. I want to give another update of the other things I have made. Last night I worked on some leggy frogs. I made 2 of these guys. Just now I made one of my fishies. I'm going to probably be making some more while I watch TV tonight. I also finished one of my adorable witch hats. Um, this was both big twist in both the acrylic and the cotton. I don't have the wrappers anymore. And then I did a purple glow in the dark on the brim, and it is stunning. It is beautiful. And she is definitely going to be a one of a kind. I should probably start having a tally. I'll do a tally of how much I made this week in product. Obviously, I haven't sold them yet, and give you that when I close out. So, editing me, please remember to do that, even if I have to record that on my tablet's camera. So, that's it. Until the next update, I'll probably give you another one tomorrow. And hopefully, I'll have this dragon done tomorrow because I'm going to be working on those feet and the spines and the wings. And I'm really hoping I have enough yarn for that. This is how I'm doing on Yarn Chicken. So, till next update, see you then. Hello, everyone. We're in for another update. The kids are cleaning up their room for the weekend. And this is hopefully the last day I'm going to be working on my big fairy dragon. I know I said earlier in the week that I was going to be also working on a baby bokoblin, but that's just not going to happen. I'm probably going to push that back to next week. And I've also been working on some other guys where I kind of finish them up according to how I come across them. So, these guys that I'm about to show you, I just finished this morning. These I've been taking my littles and making them with the Posh weight yarn. I don't know what it's called, but I use a 4.5 millimeter hook to make them. And I have one little dinosaur, two little triceratops. They're baby triceratops because I don't like sewing on the horns. Just once it's done, I'm happy with it being done. And it's just a baby. That's why I put the ginormous eyes in comparison to its body. I also have a little octo. When I do my bigger octos, I like to give them the little curly Q legs because I just really like it. I make the baby my $5 octos where they have just straight legs. And that's just a personal preference. Also, it gets really fiddly to do the curly Qs on the velvet weight yarn as opposed to anything bigger than that. So that's how I do it. I also made a bunch of my $5 littles. I have 2 blue froggies. Aren't they adorable? This one's a little wonky with the eyes. I don't know what happened. I misaligned them or something, but I think it gives them a little bit extra character. Look at how cute. And then I also made a bunch of fish. So all my fish are 2 colored. So I would make one fish with that color combination and another fish where it's the inverse, reverse. I don't remember the technical term. So I have this pretty blue and pink. I have these light blue, almost a blue gray and green. I really like this color combination. And then, because I'm in Louisiana, of course, I had to do purple and gold. So that is all I've currently got made right now from last night after I finished recording. Usually by the time I'm done in the evening, it's either midnight or close to midnight. And the last thing I want to do when my husband and I are trying to go to bed is record, even if it's only for a couple of minutes. So that's why I've been doing it first thing in the morning, also to kind of get me set up for the day. So my personal goals for the day is I'm going to try to finish making all of the parts for the dragon. So that way I can, if I don't sew them up tonight while in the evening, I'm going to be doing it tomorrow morning while the kids are in church. I'm not too sure yet. And Lily, will you please stop crying all the time? So that's my current plan. Yeah, yeah, that's it for right now. Till my next update, I'm going to try to give a little bit more updates today. Um, while I record, as I work on everybody, just to kind of give you, because this is the final haul, and I'm sorry, I am rambling. I know. I'm trying to get back into the habit of doing these YouTube videos. But that's it for now. I got to go get updates on my clock app. And I am definitely going to be doing a tally in my outro as to how much product and money I make for this. I think I've decided for my dragon, because of how big he is and how long he's been taking, I'm charging $300 for him. There's no getting around it. And if he sells, woohoo, that takes a lot of weight off of me. But if he doesn't sell, oh well. If he's still with me after a year, he's mine. Hello, I'm giving y'all another update. I'm kind of taking some creative liberties on this fairy dragon pattern so that way I can win at Yarn Chicken for this yarn and the yarn I'm going to be using for the horns and the bumps and wings and everything. So, because I don't hate myself enough, I am using fur yarn, and I'm doing where I take this fur yarn and this acrylic yarn and running them at the same time to make it a little bit easier to work with the fur yarn. And I've got his little toenails and foot pad in the teal color, the same one I'm going to be using for the wings and the bumps or spines. And then I gave him a little fur over his toes. And then I was able to do the rest in the same body color that I've been doing. And I'm actually really excited for how he's turning out. I will show you guys how everything is looking after I am done getting the other 3 legs done. So I'm so excited for this process. And also, please, guys, give me some feedback in the comments. Let me know if you really liked how this video is going, because I'm thinking of maybe starting to take on a few more bigger projects once in a while and working on those and doing a full breakdown on it, because I really do I'm finding I am enjoying doing this big of a project, and I'm liking doing the progress videos as well. So let me know down below. So until the next update. Hello, everyone. Another update on the dragon. I've got all 4 of the feet done. I may not be able to sew this up tonight, but I'm making progress. So, like I said, I did the color that I was using for the body. I did this fur yarn that I got from Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if they even still make it anymore. I know it's loops and thread, but I don't remember what it was called. And I've got the yarn bee on the little toes or claws or whatever you want to call them. I'm going to brush the fur a little bit better to make it prettier. And I will be going from there. But I got all 4 of them. And not only did I make all 4 of these feet, but I even have a little bit left from Yarn Chicken. So I beat Yarn Chicken. So I'm happy about that. Now, I've got to do a little bit of chores around the house. And then I'm going to be getting to knock out, I think I'm going to work on the wings next and go from there. I think, yeah, that's what I'm going to do next. So until the next updates, have fun. Hello, here's another update on the dragon. I finished doing dishes and all that stuff, and I got into some comfier jammies. And I got the 2 wings done. And I've got 1 horn done. I'm not following the pattern on the horn. I want it more the shape of horn. And here it is. All I did was a bunch of rows where I started off where I just increased for the first 2 rows on the first stitch. And then after that, for like 12 rows, I increased in the first 2 stitches. And then I decreased in the very last stitch. And I'm going to do the opposite, I think, for the next one, so they mirror the spiral that they do. And I really like how that shape had turned out. I'm so excited for this dragon. So until the next update, I'm going to be powering through tonight. I'm not going to be working on anything else but this dragon. Probably going to put on probably some Bailey Sarian. I need to catch up on that anyways. So I'm going to put on some Bailey Sarian after I'm done doing my other recording. If you follow me on TikTok, you've probably already seen it by the time this is posting. Also, I know I was originally going to try to get this done by tomorrow so I can edit and everything, but I think I'm going to have it where each week it is done on Wednesdays, because I started this on a Wednesday, so that way I have a full week. And this might also line up better with Thanksgiving being next week as well. So until the next update, stay safe. All right, I've got Major Dragon update. So we have his body. I have his wings. I have both of his horns. And I have his dorsal fin. Now I'm again going off script because I have free will. And instead of me sewing on 10 spines that I really don't want to sew on, I'm taking what's left of my fur yarn and going to be stitching it all the way down his spine to the tip of his tail, because I think it'll look cuter and I really don't want to sew it. So instead, I'd rather surface crochet with fur yarn all the way down to the end of the tail. But also, I should theoretically have this guy done before I go to bed tonight, give or take. Because I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to sew on. What's going to take forever is this fur yarn. So I'm about to get that going after I queue up my video that I'm going to be watching. And we shall see how this goes. I might give you guys an update after I get everything sewn on before I start the fur. You never know. Once I get the fur bits on, I may not want to do that anymore. So we shall see. Until then, have fun. It is now Sunday, and I finished him. Y'all probably already saw the reveal, depending on how editing me puts this together. I'm really excited for how he turned out. I love him to death. I've decided that he is going to be priced at, or she is going to be priced at $300, because I sat there and did the math. I probably put well over 40 hours into this dragon. And, like, he's so precious. I've did a bunch of other stuff. Oh, I said I was going to do a tally. Give me a minute. Let me pull up all the things that I have made. So first we have the dragon at $300. Then we have my witch hat at 55. Now I didn't make it this week. I just located it this week. I made it last week. But I have a gnome hat that's wool that I'm selling for 45. I have a purple wool beanie I'm selling for, I think I said 35. So and then we're going to get into the smaller guys that I got here. And we've got another $30 here. Each of these are $10. And then two, 10, 12, 12 littles at $5 each, so $60 there. So give me a minute and I will do the math real quick and I will pop back up here. So I'm not too embarrassed to say that I had to open up my calculator on my phone to do a tally, but my grand total is $535 that I've made since Wednesday. So not too bad. I know I have more items that, oh, wait, I do have another item I forgot about. Scratch that. 555 because I have a $20 messy bun. I got Insta, so and I'm gonna do that while I'm editing. So $555 was made this week. Remember, I have a goal of $3,000 to be made before Winter Fete, so about the 4th of December. That's when I'm going to cut myself off, even though I'm probably not going to abide by that. And I'm going to go from there. So, a quarter of the way there. I think this is doable because I didn't start on all of this really until Wednesday. I do have big projects for next week. Stay tuned and we'll see how things are going. Until then, stay safe. You are loved and always happy stitching.